Hi, it's Christine again. I thought I would answer Sage's Magical Kitchen. She sent me a witch tag list. I got tagged, and there's a whiny cat in the background. Yeah, whiny cat. So that's Mina again, and then there's Oscar Six Toes. Yeah, they're both meowing. Excuse the mess in here. At some point, we're going to be kind of moving, and so everything's just all over the place. And unfortunately, this is a door access. See, there's boots in front of my altar. I mean, it's just a disaster. Anyway, uh, the questions. What kind of witch are you? I'm kind of the best description is I'm an eclectic Wiccan. I have a mixture of Native American shamanism. I still have some Catholicism in the mix there. I'm just kind of all over the place, really. Mostly shamanic. I go very much towards nature, and that's just me. Hard to describe. How did I discover my path? Well, when I was little, I was brought up with some practices like doing the candle lighting, which was Catholic. Later on, fending off demons and things like that, and that was before middle school. So I've been on the path for quite a while, considering I'm 46 now. I identified myself as Catholic, even though I'd never been baptized, hadn't been to church, got beat up by the Christian kids quite a bit. So I really learned about what my path was back in 92. Yeah, 92. Or it was 94. I can't even remember now. Graduated nursing school in 96. So 1994. I had just met my now fiance 2 weeks before I got married to my husband, and we were playing Dungeons and Dragons at college, and he brought out a book called "The Truth About Witchcraft Today" from now I can't remember his name either. My day's just not going very good. Anyway, I recommended it in another video. I apologize. This is so unorganized. But we had been talking before this, and he went and he said, you realize you practice a lot of the same things I do. And then I went to his Samhain ritual and learned what the practices were, and it's like, hey, I do some of this stuff. So I kind of started to really identify as Wiccan then. Set up my own altar, did my dedication after I got married and stuff, and it just went from there. So how long have I been practicing? 41 years? What path or tradition do you follow? I also kind of have a true fam trad in there. A lot of the stuff that I grew up with was passed down from great 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 aunts to great aunts to great grandmother, grandmother, mother. I don't know how far. And part of it kind of got mixed up during World War II and stuff like that. My parents are from Germany, so it was kind of, Germany, everything was kind of really much family. But we didn't label it witchcraft. It was labeled Catholicism, and that was it. I mean, my grandfather climbed the steps of the Vatican on his knees to kiss the ring of the Pope. So, yeah. I am solitary. I do go to a circle put out by a friend's coven once in a while. I have fun doing that, but I don't want to have somebody dictating to me how I have to practice and how I have to believe. So, no. Do I practice divination? If so, what techniques? Once in a while I do tarot. Most of the time is dream interpretation. And a lot of that is based on what I was taught. And it works for me. I don't know if it would work for anybody else, but it does for me. Would you teach practice witchcraft to your children? They've helped me with various rituals. They've helped me with opening altars. They've both been to circle with me to see how an actual coven works. They're very open-minded about it. My son is Catholic. My daughter's confirmed Lutheran. And we're such an open household, we really don't care. And the altar sits right out. And, there's times they help me with stuff. And they think it's pretty cool. And they always have since they were little. Do you have a patron or major deity? Kind of. I'd say pretty much my major deity is Mother Earth. Favorite pantheon? Probably the Egyptian. They always fascinated me since I was way, 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 way little. Favorite goddess? Oh my. I have to admit, Demeter is kind of one for me, and Mary. Because, I'm sorry, Catholics, she's a goddess. Get over it. Yeah, she's a goddess. Or Gaia, the mother, Earth Mother. And I talk to the Earth Mother more than any. So those are my main three. Favorite god? I have two there. Apollo, who is, of course, not Egyptian, and Anubis. Those two really speak to me. My sun sign, I am a cusp of Libra and Scorpio. My moon sign, I had to look up, I'm Gemini. I didn't know that. Do I have a familiar? I did. I had a little Bombay cat with 7 toes on each foot when I was married, and she was everything to me, and unfortunately still don't know exactly who shot her. And, of course, I had to take her to the vet. She had a hole through her chest and out underneath her one paw. And she'd only had 1 litter of kittens, and they all had the same number of toes and everything. But she was something else. And after I had to have her put down because they couldn't rescue her, there was nothing they could do. The bullet had gone right through. I still have suspicions on who did it. But, later on, I saw her in a dream, and this cat loved to be pregnant. Absolutely adored being pregnant. That was her thing. But I saw her in this dream, and it's a nice sunny day, and I've got a big bale of hay and a wheelbarrow in this dream, and out in the yard, going to the garage. Sorry. Like I said, every time the camera's on, something itches. Anyway, she comes walking up to me, and I'm like, Muppy, what are you doing here? You're dead. And this is the first time I'd ever had an animal speak to me in a dream. She looked up at me and said, "Silly Mom, that was my other body." So I don't know how much was familiar or if she was actually a spirit guide that had a physical form for me. But I'll never forget that. I woke up crying. Thoughts on afterlife? I believe in karma. I don't believe in you're going as an animal, whatever. Karma's not always fixing past mistakes or trying to make up for being a bad person in a past life. I had somebody try to shoot that one at me. That's not the case. I do think that we choose our bodies, or we are given the chance to choose what bodies we're going to be born into and what kind of life we're going to have. I think that we know pretty much what kind of life we're going to get. And are we going to be able to fix things? Are we not? Sometimes you're just back in with the same people in the same pattern again to try and get yourself out and gain your own strength. Other times, I think as far as regarding children being born with serious illnesses and stuff, I think that sometimes I told one parent once that, why Why is it against any possibility that an angel takes a body to go and teach the rest of us something while that life is there? So karma's kind of a mixed bag. Um, like I said, I don't believe in the whole, you were first in a body of a bug and stuff like that. No. And we don't know how long souls have been reincarnating. We are an ancient people. I mean, at one point we were Neanderthal. We were all these different things, and I I don't know if maybe our souls had evolved as well along with it from the learning experiences of being a more primitive people. I don't know. Have you had paranormal experiences? Many. Lived in a house that the University of Minnesota had actually come out to investigate the hauntings that were there. After the house burned down, after we'd moved out, they had found 4 bodies buried in the basement area in the one section I couldn't go into when I was a little kid. Stuff like that. So there was a lot of ugly things going on. And then my parents moved into a house next to a graveyard. Yeah. Are you out of the broom closet? I'm so out of the broom closet, there's no going back. I managed to, when I was going through my divorce, one of the questions on the paper is, what religion are you? And you do not lie to a court. So I wrote Wiccan. And that caused me all sorts of trouble. The divorce took almost 3 years. And part of it was the custody issue because he was trying to say that I'm not a fit parent because of my religion. I was going to teach the kids to worship demons and sacrifice animals and stuff like that. It was really, really, really nasty. My mother has gotten more religious with me now. I get all sorts of Christianity cards when I was getting horse cards before. I prefer the horse cards. She hasn't mentioned anything about the pentacle on my car. Yes, I have one on my car. It's gotten me stopped by police. It's gotten me flipped off by people. Yeah, I'm so out of the broom closet. I don't know if my family really feels anything about it. Definitely they're not happy about it, but too bad. What is something that inspires you? I think the children that I take care of. Most of the kids that I have are on full life support. I work in home, and that way they don't have to live in the hospital. I've done in-home dialysis. I take care of kids on respirators. I have adults too, but I think mainly the children because it's interesting to see the children just blossom, and it makes me extremely happy too. And I think they're my inspiration. Do I have an altar? I have a messy altar. It's right there. It's covered in cat hair. Things are going to get packed up and moved again. Of course, I got a jewelry stand there because I love my altar for photographing jewelry. It's great. So, yeah, there it is. What's a spell that you've done? Oh, my. I did a protection spell for a family member. And I went and burned sage, then took the ashes because I was trying to do protection. I had some different feathers and stuff. I'd made this nice little amulet bag that I could clip to the clothing and stuff. And I had mixed my blood in there. So yes, I have done blood magic. I do not do it very often. Most of the time, if it's something very personal to me, I will do it. So, yeah, that was one of them. I won't go into any further details. Do I have a totem animal? I have several. One of them, and I'm absolutely terrified of my most strongest totem. I'm completely and utterly terrified of spiders. A spider is one of my totems. I'm trying to learn to live with it. Another totem animal that I have is the cougar or the mountain lion. Then I used to have the horse as a totem, but not so much anymore. Skunk is another one that I have. And skunk is one that's about, you got to kind of keep a sense of humor with skunk. It's kind of funny. Really, that's about it, because your totems do change. And while most people like to say, well, I'm big with wolves and stuff like that, so am I. I have a big wolf hide blanket that's 100 years old that I've been using slowly to make medicine bags and stuff. It's actual wolf hides sewn together. But they're not a totem for me. Really, skunk, spider, and cougar are about it, the more I think about it. Favorite pagan holiday that you celebrate? I totally love Samhain. I love the Halloween aspect of it. I love the getting into costume and handing out stuff to the kids and all of the things that we do that are a mix of modern day celebration and our witchy celebrations. Throw it all together and I'm a happy camper. It is just loads of fun. It is my favorite holiday. Always has been. I love costume. I love getting dressed up. Gives me an excuse. Do I meditate before I fall asleep? Yes, I do. I often meditate on things that I'm going to make. It's kind of relaxing for me, and it helps me come up with a process of how I'm going to put something together or carve it or anything else. And sometimes I have little weird visions while I'm doing that. But yeah, and that helps me relax, and I go to sleep really quickly. I do not have to take sleep medications or anything like that. Have you gone to a psychic, tarot reader, Reiki master, healer, etc.? No. I've seen too many fakes out there, and I just don't. I've had a friend read tarot for me one time, but that was about it. What are some witch books that have influenced you? The Truth About Witchcraft Today by Scott Cunningham. Yes, I remembered it. And Silver Ravenwolf. A lot of her books. To Ride a Silver Broomstick actually helped me during a time that before the divorce was happening, and I was really depressed, and a lot of the exercises in that book helped me kind of come out of it. I even sent her a little angel from that one. She's a very nice lady. Favorite witch websites? Witchvox. Favorite witch movie? I have two. That one with Sandra Bullock, Practical Magic. And then I have my guilty pleasure, which is The Craft. It is my guilty pleasure. I'm sorry. It has its good moments. I love that movie. Favorite mythological animal? That's between the dragon and the winged horse. And in part with the horse, because I grew up with horses. But yeah, the dragons, this is a bronze. It's not even complete. I wasn't able to take the classes anymore to finish with the Dremels and the air tools and stuff. It's out of bronze. Bronze is very difficult to work in. So that's one of my pieces. Favorite season? I like spring and I like fall. I like spring because everything's coming up. It's all brand new. It's growing. It's coming back to life. And there's no mosquitoes. And I like fall because the mosquitoes are going away. That's our state bird, by the way, in Minnesota. I'm lying, but not really. That and the colors are just so cool. I mean, the smell in the air, all the fallen leaves. Then you get those Indian summer days, and it's awesome. I totally love it. Favorite herb? Rosemary. Tasty and useful. I didn't even hesitate on that one. Favorite gem? I like dirty stones, actually. You see, this quartz here has got... It's not a clean, pretty piece. I like things with character. Amethyst is one that I really, really enjoy. I like ruby. And my favorite magical working one is citrine, which somehow I've gotten towards yellow gems, which I hadn't for a long time. Rune of my choice. I haven't played with runes for years. Sorry. I don't even remember. I think the one that looks like the F with the appointed ends on it is always the one I've identified with. I'll have to look up why. Tarot card of my choice. Yeah, that's another one I don't do very often. I think, I don't know, I still think the Empress. You know, I'm just kind of, I've got my kingdom. Yes, in a way I rule over it in some ways, although I think it's more ruling over myself. And that is something that we all have to think about, is becoming comfortable with ourselves. Regardless of the situation, whether we have a house, whether we have an apartment, whether we're in some slum somewhere, you have to be able to be happy with who you are. And if you have control over your own nature and control over yourself, that's your kingdom. I could lose these things tomorrow. I still rule over my kingdom. It's me. Symbol, sigil of your choice. There goes that itch again. The Ankh. That's the easiest one. Your athame, mine is hand-napped obsidian, set with a diamond willow handle. I have a matching bowline to go with it. eBay. Long time ago. My wand is somewhere. Here it is. There's a piece of driftwood. And I almost kind of saw the face of like a wind elemental or something in it. So I took oil pencils and just kind of added the blues. And then I took orange oil and oiled the whole thing. And it was a thrift store find for $1. That's my wand. I make wands, I carve wands, but that's mine. I don't have a cauldron. I want one. I do have, however, this really, really lovely mortar and pestle. It's just, I mean, it's not a cauldron for me, but it's stone, and it's another thrift store find that I paid $9 for. I don't think I can really use it for grinding anything with food. It's a conglomerate type stone, but I don't mind. It works great for the altar. I just don't do wet stuff in that one. I have another mortar and pestle for wet if I need to. My Book of Shadows is put away right now. It's just a velvet covered book. You know, one of those fancy diaries. That's all I have for it. If I need to, I'll make a leather-covered one with handmade paper later. My son makes paper. Tarot decks. I have one from, that's a copy of a 14th century German one. That's put away right now. That is gold-leafed on it. That I got at the Renaissance Festival this last year. I also have Victoria Francis Vampire deck, which I use for my own personal readings because it's very, very dark. If you are not ashamed of having things that don't sound so good come out of the tarot deck, that's kind of the one to use. That's for dark working. Something witch-related that I want right now. I have a couple of things. I do want a cauldron. The other thing that I want is, this is my broom handle. This is another diamond willow piece that I have carved. You can see it's ready to go with a little hanger there. I'm trying to find the right broom corn, or somebody that's going to sell broom corn that I can actually make the broom out of. But that was a found piece of wood. Also, the other thing I want that I have to finish is I do have two drums, but I was with a friend and had found a great big hollow log in a park, and it had a metal hook pushed into it. And I think it must have been something they must had a fence attached to at some point or something. But they had cut it, and it was in a pile of stuff that was going to get mulched for the paths. And so I was with my friend, and we were out walking in this park, and I decided that I wanted that log to be a drum. So I did something illegal, but I'm a taxpayer, I didn't want this thing mulched up. I was going to take it. It's sitting in my garage. I have to get the right tool for inside because my hands, I've had a lot of nerve damage, so I can't file in there. The inside needs to be cleaned, and I was going to carve it, but I think I'm going to have to wood burn it because it's oak and it's harder than sin. But I have horse rawhide. It's rawhide made from a horse. That's going to be the drum top. And then, of course, the wolf hide I'm going to use around it and stuff. But that's one project I want to finish. So technically, it's not a witchy item I want. It's a witchy item I want to complete because I love music. And I have several guitars and a recorder, and I sing. And I'd love to be able to host drum circles just for the fun of it. But I want to make this drum. So the non-witchy to help me get the witchy tool is a good set for my drill to be able to grind out the bad wood on the inside of this drum so that I can finish it. So that is it. I don't know who to tag. I'm probably going to tag Miss Dragonfeather. So thank you very much. I'm sorry this was so long. Blessed be everybody.